again, and this is puff stitch. So we're going to start with 3 chain, and we're going to turn around and start our puff stitch row. Now it's a bit like a bobble, this stitch, but it's flatter, and it doesn't actually matter whether you work on the right or the wrong side. You can see it's pretty much the same on both sides. So into the first stitch I'm going to make a treble. So under those 2 loops, pull the yarn through, yarn round your hook through 2, and yarn round your hook through 2 again. And now we're going to work the puff stitch. So we start with a yarn round hook, and we go underneath those 2 loops, and we pull a loop through. So we've got 3 loops on the hook. We're not going to do anything now. We're not going to pull through any of these loops yet. So we're going to put the yarn round the hook again, back through the same stitch, and pull a loop through. So we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on our hook. We're going to put the yarn round again, back in the same stitch, pull up, and we should now have 7 loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're going to put the yarn round and pull through all of those 7 loops. And then we're just going to do a chain. And that's your puff stitch. So we'll do a few more for you to get used to them. So we're going to miss the next stitch out, yarn round hook, into the next stitch under the 2 loops, and draw that yarn through. So 3 loops on the hook, yarn round, back through the same stitch and pull through, yarn round again, back through the same stitch and pull through. And if I've done that right, we should have 7 loops. So let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And put the yarn round and pull through this time all of them. And that's making that lovely little puff stitch. Finish off with a chain again. And we're going to carry on. We're going to miss the next stitch. We'll do another one, yarn round, under the 2 stitches and pull through. It's important not to pull too tightly here, otherwise it's quite tricky to pull through all 7 loops on your hook. Yarn round and pull through. Let's double check we've got 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's nice and loose. Yarn round and pull through. And then we're going to do a chain. I'm going to miss the next one. If you do have trouble and for some reason you can't get your hook through all those 7, just take it back, don't worry, and just have another go. It's just getting the tension right and it not being too tight. So now I was talking, I've forgotten how many loops, so I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so I'm right. Yarn round, and you can see, because I've not got this tight, they're pulling through really easily. And then that 1 chain on top. We need to do that 1 chain. It's quite important to keep your stitch count right, because we're missing a stitch in between each puff stitch. If we didn't make that chain stitch at the end of the row, we would have a lot less stitches than what we started with. So it's really important to do that chain. I'll do 1 more and then I'll leave you to get to the end of the row. So miss the next stitch, into this stitch, pull through 3 on your hook, yarn round, through that stitch again, pull through, yarn round again. I think this is the last time. We'll pull through. Let's have a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Yarn round and pull through them all. And that important 1 chain. So if you can continue to the end of your row, and I'll meet you there. Right, so I've got to my last stitch, so I hope you're in the same position, and I'm just going to do 1 treble into that last stitch. And that's the end of our puff stitch row. And then in between each row of puff stitches, we're working 1 row of double crochet. So If you remember, it's just one chain for a double crochet, and then we'll turn, and we're going to miss the first chain and just continue to work across the row in double crochet, and then you'll start the next row working your puff stitches. So I'll leave you to get on with that.